Bonjour. Got a packed week this week. There's some great books out this week, and the top of the shop for me, and we will be going through it, is this little baby. Mr. Freeze, one shot from the One Bad Day books they're doing. They call One Bad Day, yeah. Batman One Bad Day with they're doing the villains. That is a fantastic comic. I'm going to gush about it, so I'll stop and show you the others. Another little one shot last night. These Bat books, DC, I've got to hand it to them. They are doing a fantastic job on these Bat books. They really are. And I haven't been, and that's high praise coming from me, to be fair, because I've never been the biggest DC fan in all my life collecting. I've jumped in and out, and particularly with Batman, who is, to be fair, one of my favourite characters. But they're really doing a stand-up job with Batman. Don't believe the naysayers when you go on YouTube a lot and banging on about, oh my god, they've turned characters this, that and the other, and their race sort of, they are doing it. I'm not a denier, but don't let them put you off buying comics. These Bat books for DC, particularly good. They're not all fantastic, you know, there's a couple of stinkers in there, but not stinkers because they've race swapped a character, or, you know, made one of them something they shouldn't, or have never been before. Correct myself, we don't go there. Yeah, just ignore them and make your own mind up. But they're not all flooded with, you know, what a lot of people just, the easy label of woke and etc. Just don't believe it. And look what's back. Yes. It's great. I Hate Fairyland's back. This was an unusual little book. Really enjoyed it. It's in issue 2, K issue 2. We're going to have a look at the artwork in that. It's really something unusual that I really did enjoy. Another one shot, easy to jump on, Blade. Now I've just got a soft spot. Got a soft spot for the Marvel horror stuff. I've got a soft spot for a character that I've followed all my life since almost his first appearance. Not Tomb of Dracula, but you know, years later when they used him. When the first films were out, so the first films and those comic books was when but you know, I'll be honest, I'm old enough to have picked up Tomb of Dracula, but anyway, you know, second time we don't go there. This madness continues, love it. Shaolin Cowboy, won't go through that, I'm just recommending these, I've picked out me half a dozen, that's me half a dozen, but Shaolin Cowboy's out. Maybe I'll give you a little peek of a couple of the pages in that, because it's fantastic artwork, and I want some of the coffee he drinks. I want to know the brand of coffee that Jeff Darrow is drinking. I'd just like to show, this is a great book. I've been through it before, and I'd just like saying that I got wind this week. I just like, I'm sorry, I'm a dad, so I'm entitled to say dad jokes. I'm sorry. Let's carry on. This continues to be a nice slow burn, not intense, but like that slow burn, creeping dread kind of story. This is issue 3. I did review it, so I'm just reminding everyone to go get that and do yourself a favour. Junkyard Joe, issue 2. Again, I won't go through it because I went through issue 1 in detail, and I'm trying to avoid, you know, repeating myself. Yeah, you're not doing a very good job, I hear some people say. Wait, fantastic. This is Gary Frank's. This is the best work. That's the best artwork I've seen him do. Best artwork I've seen him do, and the inking, the cut and the colouring. I wrote his name, Brad Anderson, the colourist. On Junkyard, you know, just brings out something in Gary Frank's work, the best he's done. And this, I've left this till last, and it deserves to be last. I know I promised everyone that I would pick the 6 of my best, and I have. And I promised myself that I would only recommend great, like good comics. But I'll tell you what, I'm doing a public service announcement and telling everyone to stay away from this. The worst comic I've read in a long while. One reason being, see, and it's like what Dismal Minus do nowadays, when they put the character's name on the comic and he's not in it. I mean, I don't know how many pages there is. It is one load of waffle. It's a one shot. I wouldn't mind if it was the first issue and it was a bit of waffle. This is a one issue, and I am going through it. I'm going to show you why I want to put you. I know it's wrong for me to say it, but when you're in the comic shop, you have a leaf through it. You tell me what happens, and it's supposed to be a one shot. And at the end, everything about this comic just wound me right up. Continued in Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty issue 7. No, one shot. Mr. Freeze, One Bad Day, one shot. Blade, one shot. What was the other one? Anyway, they're all doing a one shot. This pathetic thing. Anyway, yeah, that went, but I won't let it overshadow. I mean, there's 11 books here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 books. 10 out of 11 go from great, as in one of the best comics I've read in many a year, and to that. But we're going to concentrate on the 10 good ones. We're going to have an in-depth look at my favourite half a dozen like we normally do, and then we might just flick through, especially Jeff Darrow, definitely deserving of just a quick flick through some of that superb artwork. You know, I can't not do it. So, but we will do the 6 of the best as usual after the scroll. Right, let's start with this little beauty. I've got to do this first to get it out of my system. This, like I say, best comic of the week. Beautiful cover, one of many. They've done a gazillion variants like they like doing nowadays. Forgive me if I'm not bending it, because obviously I can't flatten it out, because it's a lovely square bound volume. Now this is beautiful artwork by Matteo Scalera and Dave Stewart on the colouring duty, so you know he's a stalwart. And okay, you could, it's not almost an origin story, but so beautifully done, set at Christmas as well, Mr. Freeze. And you know what, it reminds me, I just recently did a tribute video of Kevin Conroy, who voiced Batman. Look at that for a nice splash page. Love it. And this is kind of year 1 and 2 Batman as well. It's a back in the day tale, which also I found nice. So it's Christmas. It evoked a lovely Christmas feel somehow. Even the Batmobile, just this one bit where the Batmobile's skidding up, showering Robin with snow, and Batman saying, maintenance note, we've got to calm down on the on the anti-skid and all that. Just one, this is such a well done, such a well written piece of look, they've got a star for the top of the tree, look. I loved it, honestly, I loved it. And the way that they've done Mr. Freeze, and we you know the shtick by now if you read comics. If you haven't, you're in for a treat. If you haven't come across Mr. Freeze, you are brand new to comics. You are in for a treat. There's old Nora, bless her. You're in for a treat with this. And yeah, like I was saying, that Kevin Conroy tribute, I've had a soft spot for Mr. Freeze ever since that episode of Batman Animated. Heart of Ice, I think it was called, that won some awards. I did mention it in the tribute video, but this is just, look at that. I love this stuff, and I know it's all classic stuff, and you can't do it month after month. It's different when you're doing, let's see if we can get look like that. Beautiful stuff, lovely. You can't do it on a monthly book to have that kind of impact and that. But this storyline, I thought I knew where it was going, and there was just enough new stuff in it. Got all these classic turns. Everything's in it. Everything that you want out of a Batman book that's got Mr. Freeze on the cover is in this. Look at this. Love this stuff. Didn't make a note of the lettering, actually. I don't, because you can't keep mentioning Darren Bennett on the lettering. Darren Bennett, what a good job you done, mate. Cracking job of this. I like all this. I think I'll point it. There is one book that where the lettering I'm going to point out, which I also enjoyed. But I kind of don't try not to list every single credit because I've just for time. And you know what I'm like, waffling on. You know, I like the Robin, how they've done it. Just a superb Batman, how they've done it, and everything. Listen, I can't fault this book one iota. I thought it was fantastic. Just a nice shot like that in a panel. Just to move the story along. But it's got a really sad undertone to it, which we know that Mr. Freezer's got. Now, I'm gonna get a little bit cautious with, because there's a nice little bit. Like this. Like how cinematic is that for a panel? There's a nice little bit there that I didn't want to spoil for anyone. How it was written and drawn, and how the page turns and that part of the story unravels, I thought was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Love the artwork on this, the burnt photograph and the drifting to the ground after it's all exploded. Then back to, you know, back to the Batcave. Lovely, just lovely stuff. All of this, look at that. Look at that for a double page of artwork on the ice. Look, the ship there. Oh, that's beautiful stuff. Like I say, if you aren't on board by now, then I don't know what to recommend you. To be fair, look at this. You know, underwater Batman. Robin's come along. Love the way they've done him. Just a lovely flourish there from Matteo Scalera, and Jerry Duggan's on the writing duties. You know, been going for donkeys. I haven't got to talk to you about Jerry Duggan. This was a cracking read. One go. Look at that, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. They're very similar in style to Dan Mora, which is another one I love, and we'll be getting to him after the next Batman book. But bring me this every month, guys. Honestly, bring me Dan Mora. You know, and I'm not saying this guy's copying Dan Mora. I'm just saying they've got a similar style. Very, very nice. And how they stitch in the backstory to the modern day stuff and what they're trying to do. Yeah, really, 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 really good. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave the last couple of pages out. Not that there's any, you know, just nice on the back cover. Really thought about, you know, well considered comic. I'm not leaving it there because there was a, you know, any kind of sensational twist at the end that I didn't want to spoil. Just that I want to keep something back, you know, you enjoy it as I enjoyed it. Now, this is another one shot. This was a great short story they did. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it because I'm not involved in all the DC Justice League stuff, so I wasn't sure. But no, they got me in. Got to say, they got me in because they got on with it really quick, which I really like. Here he is, the bloke on the cover, and I'll get back to what they're doing in this comic at the end of my little rundown on that Winter Soldier pile of crap. But this again is great. Does what it says on the tin. Got you know, enough intrigue here because it's another kind of Elseworlds thing. You know, it's a planet where Gotham's turned out different, so it's a bit Elseworldsy. I haven't been, like I say, I haven't been following, but nice job on the art and great writing by Simon Spurrier, who we all know, and you know, Ryan Sook on the artwork. Now, I haven't seen him do any art since I think it might have been Spectre back in the day, and I think he did some but here, look, there's horrific stuff he's done here. Love it, but he does a good job here. Different kind of style. He's on the colouring as well, which I think helps in this kind of, they've really done a good job here to create a kind of nightmarish vision, almost like a dreamlike vision. You know, we can kind of guess who that is and blah blah. But again, it's a nice short story, it is well worth a read. It's just a one shot. Now at the back, this Satana story. Look how beautiful the colouring is on this. Now it's Megan Fitzmartin writing it. Dan Jurgens and Norm Rapmund are back. I mean, I don't know where they've been. They may be still doing, but that just seemed to be two names that cast me right back. Nevertheless, Federico Blee on the colours, a beautiful job of this, I've got to say. Look, just properly popped right out at me as I was flicking through this comic, and it's a lovely little story they've accomplished here in, or Megan Fitzmartin has accomplished here in, what, 8 pages? Yeah, 8 page, little 9-page story. It really just makes the whole book worthwhile. Here's how Constantine turns up. You know, it's just in that, what's it? I know it seems like they're pushing Zatanna. In one of the other back books, the Batman versus Robin has gone to the magical side. I don't think Zatanna was in it for very long, but if at all. But they're going that magical way. But I like these. I like these ones. I do like the stories that involve. So look, we're Batman heavy, I know, but here we go. Third one. But I've got to do it because Mark Waid, like I've said before, is making this look easy, writing a back book, and this World's Finest is cracking. And Dan Mora, for me, look at this artwork, is fantastic. But you can't take away from Mark Waid making the job of writing superhero comics look easy. You've got the new character here from the What's It, and look who turns up. And I know they teased it at the end of last episode. Done really well. I love the stuff like this. And Mark Waid, if anyone can do this kind of stuff, you know, it is Mark Waid. If you just want your superheroes done well and traditionally, and there is nothing wrong with that. These characters have got enough in them, and they've just dropped in this new one enough to make it kind of like his arc in a way, and enough modern bits. Look, you know, Mark Waid's dropped it all in there. He's dropped it all in there, and this is a fantastic read. And like I say, this is coming from, not I've detested DC in the past. I just went the Marvel way. You know, here we go back to Gotham City again. Look, it's nice, nice. All this stuff. Yeah. And they're doing. These guys are doing a fantastic job on the back books. Thoroughly recommend them. The back books. But from the sublime to the ridiculous, here she is. Gertrude's back. Gertrude's back. Fluff off. They decided to put a fluff on the cover. Now, Scotty Young had done the previous writing and artwork. Now he's obviously taken the back seat, because I've noticed he is writing a lot more. So he's obviously getting into the writing, and the drawing is the time-consuming thing. But Brett Bean has taken over, and I've got to say, fantastic job. I'm not, of course I'm going to miss Scotty Young, but you know what I mean when I say I'm not missing Scotty Young. And on the colouring again is Jean-Francois Beaulieu, and this is, you know, they go, just give you a quick recap of where we've been, and you can see already that this the new artist gets it, Brett Bean, which just a great choice. You know, all the things we've come to know and love from Scott Young's artwork in I Hate Fairyland. Brett Bean gets it, because they could have really shot themselves. I think they could have really shot themselves in the foot, literally, with Gertrude. But yeah, you can see what I mean. If you've liked, now this is an issue 1, and they give enough of a recap at the beginning of this. So if you haven't got any I Hate Fairyland, just jump on this one. Jump on this one, because it's got all the bells and whistles on it that you need to get yourself involved. You've obviously missed out on a couple of volumes of really good stuff. The nefarious rat turns up at the end. Oh, I know that was a quick skip through, but again, I don't really want to, you know, spoil too much on some of these books. This is really, this is probably second place for me this week. But nothing was going to beat that Mr. Freeze book, to be fair. I hadn't come across issue 1. This is an issue 2, but I got right into the story. Wes Craig create story, art and design. Now, I've got to say one thing about this and world design with lettering. As we go through this, I will point out, just like the way they've just cut that enough for the main character. Whenever they've just done the balloons in a, I think the lettering blends in with the artwork so well, and I just love, look, this is what you call lettering, and it's just part of the art, and it is beautiful artwork and colouring, I've got to say. And Jason Wordy, what a name for a colourist, Jason Wordy. But look, for a colourist, this just stuff like it's effortless. This artwork, it looks effortless. I know it's not, but it's just got a style that, you know, a cartoony style. But I was right in. I was right in from when I first picked this book up. This just looked like it's different enough with the art style. You know, a unique art style, fantastic colouring, and something about this lettering. I don't know what it is, but all I know is that I like it. I really do. I just like the whole ensemble. You know, the colouring of the different characters. You know, really sorry, apologies for that. They're just really good stuff, and the story really does crack along. Considering how many panels they're putting on a page here, really does crack along. Look at that, nice. These action, you know, these action set pieces, just very, very nicely done. Really did enjoy this. Just it's her story, you know. She's part of the group. That's her little brother, you know, that she's got to protect. One of these lizard riders, they're called. You know, it's their story and their journey and all the troubles they get into. So a simple setup for now. It's only issue 2, but really did want me, and I'm getting issue 1. My old mate Paul, Comics and Fantasy in Hornchurch, Essex, who's going to get me it. Because I will definitely be following this. But now we're in night time again. You see what I mean? It's lovely. It's lovely. So I think I've showed enough of that one. And what I also want to point out is something I said they should do this more. Now here's your rundown of what's. I won't read it out. You can pause the video and read it yourself. But why don't these independents, you know, Image, you've got Image, Boom, not AWA, they're not so good, but not all of them do this. They waste the back page with a symbol, like like I Hate Fairyland. But I mean, they've got a big following now. But why waste that back page when you can get new readers involved with a little synopsis here? They should do more of this, like the back cover of a book. And get people involved who might not have picked it up. Just let them know what's inside. This was an unusual one. This is book number. Is it book? Yeah, book number 6 this week, right? And like I say, I've got a soft spot for Blade over the years. This is a one shot, and the Vampire Nation that they set up out of Avengers. I'm not sure whether I like the setup of this, you know. This, you know, that what the whole world looks like. The whole world allows the vampires to live in their own country. I can't get over it. But if you can get over this conceit, I can't. I think it's stupid. But if you can, what I want to do is show you a little bit of the book. And say that if you can get over that, I can't. This is a decent one-off. This is a decent one-shot. It's more like Blade. It's more like Blade as a detective, and I know he's there to kind of keep an eye on things. But it was quite, you know, it was a little refreshing kind of non-typical Blade story for me. If I was going to be really critical about it, I could say that I think they've wasted a good character by turning him into a detective, but I'm not, because I did quite enjoy the detective aspect of this story and how they're highlighting details of what they do, but I just think it's stupid. I'm sorry, I can't. But like I say, I'm not saying this comic is crap. It's just that I can't get over a Vampire Nation being allowed. I just can't get over it. I think that is just a very, very poor. That is a very, very poor conceit. But they handle it well once you're over that. You know, the story is a decent one, and for a one shot, yeah, a decent read. I will say that a decent read, and fairly, you know, just I left that one to last, but it's, you know, not the best of the bunch this week, but nevertheless, it is well worth. Especially if you're an Avengers fan, you'll be into it more than I am. But if you're not, like I say, think about the main conceit of that. Right, let's take a little look at this, baby. Look, let me just show you. I know I've showed some early issues. Look, straight in, no inside cover. Look, bang. I love it. I love Jeff Darrow. I just love Jeff Darrow. This is as mad as a bag of frogs. It really is. But Shaolin Cowboy always has been. And I know I did say, look at this. And I know I did recommend that you get some graphic novels. But yeah, if you're into the mad stuff, but look at the detail in the artwork. Just take a look. Because you have to kind of read it and then go back through it to appreciate what Jeff Darrow does so well. Look at every single detail. Look at the bits and pieces, like the nuts and bolts falling off the bottom of that car, and the glass, the shards of glass he's put in there, the graffiti on the walls in the background. The man is just, look at every single panel. Look, you know, the perspective on it all, and it's insane. It's completely insane. You know, if oi onk. I mean, come on. You know, this is the last issue. This is issue 7. So if you do see, all I would say is if you see the graphic novel of any Shaolin Cowboy, because this is, you know, years later. I mean, I've been getting it right from the beginning, and it's well, for the amount of time it must take him to do this, I don't blame him. I really don't blame him. You know, you don't see this every month for years on end. Not at this level of detail. He ain't shy, is he? Look. I won't go through it all. I think you get the idea. I just had to quickly show you that. Like I said, I'm going to quickly show you. I know I've done issue 1 of this, but let's just open it up in the middle somewhere, just to show Gary Frank's style. He's really, not that he was immature, but matured. When I say his style has matured, I'm not saying he was immature to start with, but there's something just slightly changed in his style, and it's become more accomplished. To you know, it was you know, to make you believe in a very realistic storyline. Whether he's adjusted his style for that, and he'll go back to, you can tell it's Gary Frank. I'm not saying he's completely changed it, but that's a great read. Another one I've recommended before, so that's why I just thought I'd say what I thought about that one. And I'm going to tell you what before I do, let's just have a nice little look at them 2 covers. 2 more great comics. This is nicely like issue 3. It's really coming along. Like, this is just a classic fantasy style quest. Nevertheless, really nice. But I've done it 1 or 2 times. So, and that is just slowly unraveling the story. Really nicely done. Really definitely done. Unlike this. Now look at that cover. Winter Soldier as we know and love him. Action packed. Look, here he is. Someone's grabbing his arm. I don't know what that is in the background, whether it's Dr. Octopus. I haven't been following all the modern Marvel stuff. Starts off well enough with, you know, recognisable symbols and that, right. Little bit of it goes back to 1922. Okay, that's fine. Didn't mind the setup here, introducing you to the characters that we meet at the end. Right, here we go. Yeah, more talking and talking. Here we go, more talking and talking. More talking and talking. The artwork's nice, to be fair. Got to say, the artwork's nice. You can tell, look at all these blank panels when you compare it to Jeff Darrow and stuff like this. But it's fine artwork now. Look at what a waste. What a waste. Look, more talking. Oh, look. We finally see him. Here we go. He turns up. I've got to admit, by this point, I was gone. We're in the middle of the comic. Oh, he's got wrapped up by some arms. Oh, here we go. Talking, 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 talking. There's a cat. Talking. Oh, cat bites him or her. Wow. Talking. Talking. What's this meanwhile in London? No good. No good. What? Talking. 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 End. Go and get Sentinel of Liberty. Worst comic for a long while. Worst comic. So I'm gonna. Do you know what? I'm not gonna end. I'm not gonna soil the end of my video with that crap. Absolute utter crap. And like I say, I buy more Marvel than I do DC, but these books, I'm going to leave it with those beauties at the back of my video, because I don't want that crap. That, go and get it. And on that note, I hope you enjoyed my little review. I know I got a little bit excited with that one at the end, but apologies, but I had to put people off it because it was a total waste of time and money and effort. I will bid you adios.